This episode was brought to you in full by
Yeah.
patreon.com/defense of the patients.
Right there. Yeah, keep going.
I feel like I could be done, but like the
No,
goal
you gotta-
is to get more.
More what?
More pledges. If
More
you like
current-
the show,
What are
if
they
you like-
pledging though? What are they pledging? Like, do we want loyalty? Are we looking for
Oh, yeah.
tribute? Is this like a
I'm looking
food
like
thing?
if I call on a banner, like when you pledge, that means that if I call on your banner and you don't show up, we unpledge you.
Is that going to put grain in the trough?
It will put grain in the trough. It will fill our buckets full of water, and they will be half full until they are completely full. Because we are optimistic, looking forward that Patreon.
Okay.
You know, I was trying to do like
You kind of, but I
analogy,
liked the half full thing, and then I was like, I feel like you were just kind of throwing that in because it came into your mind, but it wasn't
did.
really relevant. Yeah.
It wasn't relevant at all.
Yeah,
but
it wasn't.
Right now, Patreon is the money that we are going to be using, obviously to pay show hosts, but the other bits of it are going toward making our TI trip, which is going to be awesome, that much more awesome. It's going to allow us to have cameramen following Proud around for his antics, which they're hilarious. I mean, Proud got hit on the camera last year at TI6, but
It sounded like you started that sentence with "proud got hit on," and then you said the camera, and I was like, "How did these
you did
two
get hit on? That
concepts
camera
mix?"
was way into you, dude. You have a way with electronics.
Yeah, but it would be like hit on by, like there would need to be another word there, but just
Yeah,
like
you
hit
were
on
hit
the
on
camera.
by the camera.
Like, what? Like I got hit on
camera-
camera. I got
camera
hit
just
on
kept-
the camera. Like there's a lot of cameras. It was just I don't know. I couldn't parse that as
the
you were
camera
going through it.
the camera couldn't stay away from Proud. It was just like, damn, look at that man, and it was
Right.
and Proud was just like wink, and like the diamond when he did the wink. Anyway,
A little sparkle.
yeah,
Like
little
when Team
the
Rocket
sparkle.
is blasting off away, like that kind of link. Or
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
Ding.
Little twinkle.
And even maybe on the tooth too. Ding.
No.
Anyway.
I mean, my teeth are fine, but they're not like twinkly. My eyes are pretty sweet, but they're like just like average teeth, and it's not like.
Well, and we
crazy.
expect the witch's hat too, and I feel
Oh,
like the
that's
witch's
every
hat
day.
is going to do a lot. Anyway, patreon.com/defense of the patients. I think the minimum pledge is $5, but just know that if you are listening to this in your car, we have been doing this for free, and we will continue to do it for free. But it does help us every little bit. Every time my phone dings and I see a patron, I literally go, yeah! So if you want to make me go, yeah! Donate or pledge to patreon.com/defense of the patient. Hello all and welcome to Patch Notes with Proud
Sup?
and myself, Roland.
706.
D. 706D.
Yeah, the big letter.
706D.
I'm sure that was not appeal. I don't know. We don't normally make noises like that, and I sounded like
don't.
a really hyper human that's like obnoxious as shit. So I'm sorry that happened.
This is a seemingly small patch. I'm kind of scanning through it with my eyes right now.
Yeah,
It looks like a patch
not a
of...
lot changed, honestly. There's a couple things that I'm like, really, like holy shit.
I'm
And then
excited
most of it's
for-
like kind of whatever.
I'm excited for the tiniest things, is what I'm going to say.
Yeah, I'm unexcited for the biggest things because they don't affect the heroes that I actively play. But some of these are huge, so keep listening. Maybe
Some of them get bigger with time. We'll just say that much.
I guess.
That's
Okay,
my
you wanna
that's
go
what I'm
through
most
them?
excited for. Yeah, let's start.
Okay.
Necronomicon.
Yeah, you go first.
Necronomicon. Duration increase from 45 to 50.
Cool. I don't really care, but cool.
That means that they're out. That means the Necronomicon units are out for an extra 5 seconds.
Yeah, so a bit less downtime, which is good. The fact that they didn't last that long is kind of shitty. The idea that I can take a tier 2 with Lycan and then they're gonna be pretty much dead before I can get like halfway through the tier 3. Not that great, but
Really,
now
it's a
another
10
5
second.
seconds. It'll it's only 5-second difference.
Well, it's a 10-second differential if you think about it, because if there's 5-second less downtime, and they're up 5 seconds longer,
Yeah. No, there's
a 10-second differential.
Yeah,
So it will add up.
10-second swing on the downtime, but I'm more worried about their duration when I'm in terms of pushing. It's not like as soon as they're ending, I'm out. I'm not gonna wait.
Exactly. 5 seconds is pretty long. So.
It's decent. I don't think it's really going to change a lot. I'm still not going to build it on Lycan, and if I'm not building on Lycan, I feel like I'm not building it on anyone. So I'm glad it happened, but I don't really care too much about what it'll actually mean.
Beastmaster, that's right.
Beastmaster builds them. Yeah. All right, so minor Beastmaster buff. Beastmaster's still kind of in the meta. He's you know, if you play him, he's maybe third or fourth on your list of offlaners to play. So, and that's only if you're like, if you don't play Beastmaster, you kind of don't, but there's still some pros who are picking him. And I think if you're a Beastmaster player, you know, you're happy about this. Sure. That took way too long for that one. Let's kind of speed it up. Dominator, minimum HP increased. I don't really give a shit.
1,400 to 1,500. I wonder motives at Valve where it's like 1,400 isn't enough.
Well,
1,500.
The way I figure this is they didn't like that Dominator became an item that you just literally picked up on every fucking hero. And now it's like it's now picked up on a couple heroes, but I think they really want to pull it back to it being like Helm of the Dominate creeps for a reason, not Helm of, oh, I'm a hero, I'm going to build Dominator.
Yeah. It's
So they're just trying to make the creep aspect of it as good as possible, which I think is cool. Like I like the idea of getting Dominator as, you know, oh, now I use creeps well. Like No Tail uses creeps super well. I micro a lot, so I use creeps pretty well too. And so it's like it's cool. Not I literally sound like I put myself on No Tail's lore. Anyway, it's cool that you get it for the idea of fighting with a creep, not the idea of, oh, I'm gonna get it to stack. Like that's fucking boring as shit. Get it to do cool creep shit. So they're just trying to buff that aspect of it, which I think is cool.
Yep. Echo Slate. This matters. Echo Saber slow duration increased from 0.6 to 0.7 of a second.
Yeah, I'm into it. I think that's a cool aspect of Echo Saber. The slow is so undervalued. It's honestly like it's good. I think it's good.
I value the shit. I like if I'm chasing somebody and I know I have an Echo Saber, I'm like, oh god damn, I can't wait until I bum, and then they're slow. It basically just guarantees a third hit, right?
Yeah.
This is just going to further guarantee that third hit.
I definitely think it's good. It doesn't give the attack speed slow anymore, so it's not quite as good for like, you know, the brute force fighting aspect, like face to face shit. But yeah, 0.1 second longer disable is nothing to be scoffed at. You know, if they took that off of Rolling Boulder, we would feel that. So I mean, why not on Echo Saber?
Exactly.
Okay, Chemical Rage has movement speed on it. I'm going to do both alch changes because they're together. Chemical Rage move speed increase, so you get 10 more move speed at the first level of Chemical Rage, 10 more at the second, and it's the same as the third one. So a little more move speed on Alchemist with his ult up. I think the big issue with Alch right now is just the downtime on his ulti got kind of increased significantly. But this is nice to make it more like, oh, you play around the ulti, not just you have your ulti up at more like all the time. So I mean, I think it's cool to buff it a little bit in response to its downtime. And then his level 15 talent increased from 80 unstable concoction damage to plus 100.
Reminding people that's a spell on Alchemist. I swear to God, like people just like Manta, Octarine, send things down. What is this W? I don't need this
one
W.
Value point in it. What's his other option at level 15? Let me check real quick. Alchemiste, and it's versus the 6 stats. Yeah. I mean that's 100 damage is a lot of damage. I really used to like the there was the Solar Crest Alch build that was
roaming Alch build.
It was mid. Like there was one game I think it wasn't Frankfurt. I want to say it was in I think it was in Shanghai. I think where it was like Miracle was on an alchemist or something. And he was killing someone's anti-mage and he did this build. He had like MKB, AC, Abyssal, and Solar Crest. It was the fighting Alch build, and you just got a really early Solar Crest, and you would just keep using it on people, and they would take damage from Acid Spray and insane damage from Concoction. And you have like 1, maybe 2 points in Greed. And it was just like, they just took a shit ton of damage because you're all physical on Alchemist, and your spells do pretty good damage, especially when you're applying Acid Spray and Solar Crest. And like Crest is good now, and they nerfed the Octarine aspect of, or rather, they nerfed like a couple they nerfed the illusion aspect of Manta getting Grievel's Greed. So I figured we might come back to this, and there were a couple games where OG did try to do the kind of Solar Cresty minus armor fighting Alchemist, but never really came back entirely. But I mean, if Unstable Concoction is doing another 100 damage, like maybe that's something we look at. It's just if you don't have Octarine, Chemical Rage is just like never up, which is shitty. But we'll see.
I don't know. Well, yeah, we will see. So Bristleback strength gain reduced by 0.3, so meaning he has 7.5 less strength at level 25, which turns out to be like 240 health. He has 240 less health at level 25.
I mean, losing 0.3 strength gain is a pretty big deal, I think. It may not seem like a lot, but I think it's a good nerf. Like it's kind of similar to Axe. Like Axe is tanky kind of through his abilities, but as a hero, he's kind of not, which is why you need to build a lot of these. You need to build like a lot of like real tanky items on him. Axe now has 2.8 because everyone got a 0.3 buff, but this kind of brings Bristle's strength gain back to where it was before they just buffed everyone across the board. So yeah, no, I think it's pretty good. Now, like if you're still used to the old strength levels and not really parsing how low 2.2 is, that would be kind of like as though he had 1.9 strength gain like a patch ago, which is kind of obscene to think about.
For sure. I guess I'll just finish up Bristleback. Bristleback Warpath damage bonus from 20, 25, 30 to 18, 24, 30. So once again, landing at the same number, but weakening
two less than
his...
one less. Seems incredibly minor to me.
Super minor, but I mean, Bristleback did come into prominence recently, so it's like, I wonder if that takes him out of prominence. I'm not sure.
No, definitely still not. There's still like kind of several counters to him. It's just that they're kind of few and far in between, and a lot of them are kind of weak. Like Legion Commander is a decent counter to Bristle because you can turn him around, but Legion sucks right now, so that's just kind of that. Axe is good against him. Necro is pretty decent, as we saw. Tusk also, as we saw, really cool because he can, like, if you ice shard him, if he wants to get out of the shards, he's gonna have to turn around and face you. So all these things that fuck with the way he's facing are pretty good. And it seems like we're still kind of figuring stuff out because the Tusk was like we just kind of figured that out when Liquid was doing it. So I think there's definitely
I didn't think about that.
There's definitely still stuff to learn about in terms of countering Bristleback, but I think these nerfs are okay. I'd like them to be a little stronger, but I just kind of want him out of my game, so I'm a little biased.
Yeah. So CK.
Yeah, so Chaos Knight, base strength dropped or increased by 2. Cool. I don't really know if that was his issue.
40 more health when he starts.
40 more health, 2 more damage at the start. Sure. Like, I mean, he's a pretty good carry. If you don't have a lot of tools to deal with him, he goes crazy, and this gives him a little bit better early game so that you can snowball that much harder. And yeah, that's cool. I'm into it. Sure.
Okay, Chen, Hand of God, health increase from 200, 300, 400 to 225, 325, 425. So just 25 more. That's like so inconsequential. I don't know. That's like not even a right click. Okay.
I think the main reason that this happened is so that you couldn't say that Chen's heal is exactly the same as Lycan's Howl at night.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Lycan's Howl at night does give you 400 health, and it just like adds it off. Yeah, it goes away at the end, but it lasts 13 seconds. You're pretty okay. And Chen's heal was for 400. So if at nighttime, literally Lycan with his 30 seconds? No, 40-second cooldown would heal as much as Chen's fucking level 3 ulti, which is hilarious in its own right.
Yeah. Okay.
All right, so we can't say that anymore, but we can still say it's pretty close.
Whatever. It just doesn't
clockwork.
Like it matters.
Hook shot damage decreased by 25 across all levels, so now it goes from 100 or it goes from 75 to 275 instead of 100 to 300. So yeah, a bit less damage. It's most noticeable early on. Kind of minor clockwork nerf, but yeah, that's I guess that's fine. You pretty much always get away from clockwork with like a little bit less, or with like a little bit of health left, unless it's like, he cook shots her CM and she just dies immediately, which is, I mean, if that happens, yeah, you deserve to die, but maybe there are a few kills that Clock was getting slightly undeservedly.
Crystal Maiden, Frostbite Mana Cost. This is actually probably the biggest thing we've talked about so far. Frostbite Mana Cost increased from 115, 125, 140, 150 to 140, 145, 150, 155. So like you hinted at in Proudland, you may need an extra clarity at the start if you want to jungle as Crystal Maiden, because Crystal Maiden has shit for mana pool. Just gets a lot of mana regen, right?
And she has tranquil boots and shit too, and her ulti's expensive. Like it's
So it's gonna make you'll feel that difference. I mean, like every 3 frostbites is basically every 4.
Every 4 frostbites is more or less another frostbite. But the thing that I'm kind of taking away from this is that I'm less, I want to say less de-incentivized, which sounds like a double negative, but actually correct. I'm not more incentivized, kind of. Anyway, I'm less de-incentivized to put more points in frostbite. And frostbite is a really interesting ability in that every time you skill it up, its duration goes up and its cooldown goes down. So it goes from like... what is this? It's like it's like I want to say, fuck, numbers are hard. It's like an 18% uptime at level 1 or something like that. No, not even. It's about 18% uptime at level 1, but then it goes up to 50% uptime once you've got it maxed out. Like the more points you get in it, the faster that uptime is increasing. But you're kind of not encouraged to get a bunch of points in it because the mana cost goes up a ton, and it's the same damage at all points in the game against creeps. So like the more points you put in it, it gets expensive as shit, and then your farming is like super mana intensive. But now it's only going up 1 mana or 5 mana every time you upgrade it rather than fucking like 10. So it's not that big a deal to just pump a bunch of points in it that you can have a 6-second cooldown frostbite, and like the mana cost isn't that much different than when it was like a 9-second cooldown, 1.5-second duration. Yeah. I'm pretty much just gonna max this shit now. Like I'm gonna be 1-4-4 if I'm gonna max my aura.
Yeah. I mean, you always go like I always go 3 points in aura, so maybe this justifies a 4th point in aura. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean it's game specific, but yeah, I definitely think that you probably are just gonna put full points in frostbite before you have more than 1, maybe 2 in your queue now. But that's just me. Anyway, Darkseer base int reduced by 2. Okay, so I mean they wanted to make it harder for him to toss a bunch of ion shells out.
24 less mana, 2 less damage.
Yeah, and Darkseers just ended up buying an additional clarity or some shit. The change to the mango into the soul ring made it a little bit easier, so this is just to kind of make that even more of their idea. And then the wall of replica slow got, knocked down a little bit again. I think that's cool. Like they added the wall of replica slow a while ago, and it was strong as shit, so they're still kind of adjusting it. So I mean, I'm cool with these. Darkseer is always going to be good.
It's so inconsequential though. It's changed from 0.6.81 to 0.5, 0.75. So literally 0.05 difference at level 2. If do the pros even notice that little of a difference on the slow?
I mean, it's not that big a difference at level 2, but at like the level 1 difference,
I think difference is
0.1. Yeah. I mean, we were just saying on Echo Saber that's going to feel like something. I mean,
it's just at level 2, it's like basically the same, and then at level 3 it is the same. So
yeah, I mean that's just how things work when you want to scale it from like a small decrease at level 1 into how it was before at level 3.
Just literally fine tuning.
Well, we can talk about those fine tunings when we get to Underlord, because this last patch change was like ridiculous compared to this one.
Yeah. So this is actually a big one. Doom duration increased from 15 to 16 because there's a talent on Doom where you can do more damage per second.
Oh, yeah, so, I guess that'll affect that too.
So this means that you have 16 seconds of, I think it does plus 40 damage on Doom, and that's like a level 15 talent. So
yeah, it's an additional 40 Doom DPS. So that's another
40 damage that you're doing on top of the already Doom damage you're doing.
Yeah, so it's 55 per second over 16 seconds now, and it can turn into like 95 per second. So Jesus
over
Christ.
16 seconds. So
yeah,
you're talking...
and it's pure damage too. Holy shit. So yeah, that's like almost 1,600 damage. That's a shit
just
ton.
A little less. 16 times 5 less than 1,600 damage.
Yeah.
So yeah, a pretty big deal there.
That's cool. I've been feeling lately like my Dooms actually just don't kill anyone. Like way back in Dota 1, if I doomed someone, they were just fucking dead. But now it's just like, oh, I doomed them. Guess they have to walk back to base.
Yeah, I agree. You know what I can't wait to get simplified is what you can deny and what you can't deny. Like on your...
That's like purely balance specific.
Like when I see somebody that's maledict, for instance, witch doctors, I think it's called maledict.
Yep.
And they're totally gonna die, and they're at like 5 health, and it's gonna tick again. Like, let me kill them, please. You know what I mean?
Witch doctor is entitled to his kills. Doom is not. It's just how it is.
It's like okay, whatever. Anyway, moving on.
To Gyro. After Doom, Gyro gains 5 move speed. Cool. I like that they're making like. They're definitely sure that they want Gyro to be kind of more of a early game-ish hero, and they're kind of buffing all of the aspects of him that aren't just like his straight up single target damage. He's very strictly in that like he does a lot of AoE magic damage and has some kind of like scaling and shit. But
he needs to stay on you with his Q, right? Like an extra 5 move speed. Yeah,
move speed is definitely great for him. Really I kind of like the direction they're putting him in, but he's still a really weak and kind of just bad hero.
You never see him. Literally, I don't even need to go to Dota Buff to say that he's probably like in the 95th percentile
Yeah.
of not picked.
If his model was like cool, then I might play him. But I mean, I played a shit ton of Gyrocopter around TI3 time when I was like just getting into playing carry competitively, and now I'm just like, don't want this hero to ever be good again.
I loved him at TI5 with his golden boosters and his.
Oh god, the lasers! I hated that shit.
Oh,
Anyway,
I
let's
loved
go
the
on
golden.
before I bash cosmetics.
Oh man, I love that. Okay,
Oh,
Invoker.
God. Such fucking Looney Tunes wacky bullshit. Get it out of here.
Nah, dude. What's Looney Tunes is the fucking skateboard whatever thing that just came out.
You will not find me sympathizing with that either, whatever it
Yeah.
is. All right, Invoker. Alacrity cooldown up 2 seconds. People are, I guess, tired of Invoker sitting in lane.
I saw something in chat from somebody that was like, another Invoker nerf, sigh. And I look at this and I think, I don't think this is ever going to affect you. Like is what because I immediately went and read the Invoker.
But that's just how Dota is. Like all you need is one little thing at one point in time to fucking turn a game, right? Like obviously it's not gonna make every game shitty, but like if it's gonna you know, there's just so much
he was
shit
right
in Dota.
To complain. I was just like, are you really gonna notice 2 seconds of Alacrity? Come on, like
dude,
we're talking like
if they took 2 seconds off like anything of any of the heroes I play, I would notice it within a fucking second. And Alacrity is used a shit ton.
Yeah, okay. Fair. IO got worse. Tether movement speed reduced from 13, 14, 15, 16 to 10, 12, 14, 16.
You gotta standardize the way .p talks about patch changes. No fucking 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Like, don't just say it was 13 to 16 and now it's 10 to 16. That's way more digestible than just saying 4 numbers. Thank you. I had to tell Sam that shit all the time. So it went from 13 move speed, 13 to 16. Now it's 10 to 16. So way worse at the start. Like, way worse. You can't just 1 point tether and then it's done. Like,
that's usually what you do. Yeah. You know, is 1 point tether. At least now, I play my fair share of IO. So
no, you are correct. I think IO may actually be one of your better heroes in that it is a individual thing that you don't just like random. It's something that you pick and that you play specifically. I think actually IO it might actually be one of your better heroes. That's kind of funny, honestly.
I'm actually an okay IO. Yeah. My problem is when I play with people, they don't like when I'm going to relocate. They break the tether, and I'm like, you fucking fool! Yeah, my camera was somewhere else.
Yeah, so let me tell you how to play IO. You have a move button, and you press M, and you click on the person you're tethered to, and then you follow them.
I think you've told me this before. I think you have told me this before.
If we've played Wisp together, we have. Yeah, no, I'm very tired of Wisp being like, you shouldn't have moved. I'm like, buddy, I'm farming. You gotta fucking keep... I don't know if you're just gonna decide to walk away from your keyboard while you try to figure out where we should kill someone. Like I'm playing the game right here.
I like go to another computer at the library and like, here's where I'd like to tether. Hold on, I'll be right back.
Like fucking Oracle and Batman, and you like take your hands and you push yourself as far as you can away from the desk and like wheel yourself around in a circle. Go to the other monitor, like print something out on your fucking like calculator printer up on the wall.
That's how it feels.
Go back to the main computer. You're like, where'd my Sven go? He blinked. And then you're fucked.
Yeah. Okay. That's interesting because IO like I always do like
everything on IO is maxable. Like I mean, you still don't max tether, but like yeah,
well,
like all of his skills, all of his shit is good to max. Like I mean, obviously you max, you know, you don't.
You have to do a 1-1 because you have to be able to tether and you have to be able to hurt yourself. And you know what I mean, so you can give.
You mean 1-0-1? I honestly don't play Wisp. That's like one of the few heroes that I can't actually tell you what.
Yeah, excuse me. Sorry. Yeah, so I do a 1-1-1, right? Like because I want to be able to.
Yeah,
spirits use some mana instead of just sending my mana into the ether with overcharge, right? Like where it's just like I'm just hurting myself for the sole reason of helping you.
Yeah.
So yeah, sometimes I'll do a 1-1 so I can just get rid of mana because usually mana is what they need, and at least I can use my mana for something by getting spirits. But yeah, that's a conversation for another time.
Cool.
What?
That is cool. Yeah. You do the next hero I'm looking at Wisp real quick because I actually really want to know about this. Okay, yeah, people are maxing spirits still, I think. I just want to make sure I wasn't totally wrong.
You need a point in everything, but yeah, maxing spirits is what I do.
Great. I'm glad that I wasn't completely wrong about that.
So Leshrac, level 10 talent increased from plus 15 movement speed to plus 25. Wow, it's a lot. And then the alternative level 10 talent is been increased from 125 health to 175 health. So they thought Leshrak's level 10 talents were bad, and they increased them both by a good margin. So
Yeah, no, that's good. Pretty much all of the heroes that just had those fucking 6 strength talents are. Oh no, sorry, this wasn't one of the 6 strength heroes. A couple 6 strength heroes got changed. But Lesh just got 125 health, is way lower than everyone else's. I think Jugs is also 175, so they kind of buffed that one up a little bit. And yeah, the like low move speed talents are just fucking awful. So yeah, 15 to 25, like that's good.
Yeah, 25 is like a good amount. So
yeah. There was what the Shadow Demon had. His options were 6 strength and like 10 move speed or something, and they buffed that because there was like, okay, that's pretty bad.
Give him something.
Yeah, now he's 20 move speed and 10 strength, so it's good. Good change. Thank you.
Yeah, 200 health is a big deal.
Yeah,
with the 10 strength and the other things,
All right. So we got Lesh. So next comes Lich. Chain Frost bounce range increased from 575 to 600, so
that is going to be consequential,
and that's radius. So for area wise, I'm sure, as everyone knows, when you're buying a pizza, you add like 1 inch. It's fucking insane. Like, it's always way crazy value. So you always buy expensive as shit pizzas. Otherwise you feel extremely inefficient. And this radius bounce range is also annoying as shit, especially as someone who plays Lone Druid.
Yeah, there's going to be that time where you're like, oh man, it's gonna die because he got away, and it's like, nope, that 25 was enough to get him.
Yeah,
you're gonna, I bet it makes a bigger difference than your like 25 radius. That's like not even the radius of a TP on the ground.
And like the higher it gets, like, I don't know. This is kind of hard to say, but like, it's not if the difference between being 100 units away and 200 units away, not that difficult to find 100 units, within an entire map to, be away from someone. But once like everyone needs to, or like once, I don't know, what that area just gets so fucking big that you need everyone to be like 600 away from one person. Like, that's way harder than, buffing it from like 100 to 125, taking it to, 575 to 600. Like, that's crazy. I can't overstate that. Lich still fucking sucks. Please do not pick this goddamn hero. Unless you're in like a pub and whatever, but for the most part, man, like, Lich fucking has had so many games where you just have no fucking disables on the team, and it's always like a Lich or a Pudge or some shit. Anyway, Dusa, Scepter stun increase bounce from whatever. Marana.
Have you seen a Medusa with a scepter?
Yeah, it sucked. It was shit.
Yeah,
it like turns people to stone.
It turns them to stone
for some reason.
Stone, and then it adds. So per bounce, it's going to add 0.2. So like you get like, I think maximum is 5 bounces, right? At level 4 snake.
Whatever.
So you can turn somebody to stone for
it's dumb.
A second and a half.
It's dumb. I hate it. Get a real item. All right, next hero. Marana.
This is big.
0.3 agi gain. Like, I really like the idea of Marana actually being a decent right clicker just through
What
her
are you
stats.
In like Mississippi saying Marana?
No, that's her name, Marana. It's like Miranda, but just without a D. Marana.
Okay.
And so she gets a little bit, but I don't think you play her as a carry. There was some phase where like everyone was playing fucking carry Marana, dude. It was like right before TI4.
Wasn't it Eternal Envy's fault?
It was like him, Loda, when Mason was on EG for some ungodly reason. And it was just like a lot of people fucking played carry Marana, and it just didn't scale. And sometimes it won the game in 30 minutes, and most of the time it didn't. And it just fucking, I hated it because I hate this. I'm not gonna play Marana. I'm just not gonna do it.
I agree. I don't think I feel like she's stuck in that
now. Like talents make it kind of okay. She gets
talents and the ags, right? Like the ags is huge.
A lot of people aren't getting ags on some variations of the like right clicking Marana, which I think is interesting. But weird. Ags is definitely good on her. Anyway, it's like a good buff. I'm into it. I like agi gain buffs. All right,
man,
you do Monkey
to
King.
See that we have like 3 Monkey Kings going on. You're doing Monkey King?
Oh, I can't share. All right, Monkey King. So his 10% evasion talent on fucking godly abomination upon this world is now 12% because you know what? When I'm playing Dota, I'm like, there's not enough incidental evasion that I'm coming across. I really need more reasons to build an MKB on literally every hero I ever fucking play. Otherwise, the right click that I just put out turned out to actually not do anything. So I'm really glad that we have a fucking 10% and now 12% evasion because, man, if this was like in a range where it made sense to deal with it with an MKB, That would just be too much. I need to
And
wait
level
until
10,
they have
it
this
seems so strange.
and a solar crest and a radiance, and then I'm like, okay, there's enough minor sources of evasion that I need to build my MKB now. I hate these evasion talents, dude. You know how much I fucking hate evasion.
Yeah.
Anyway, this is dumb and I hate it. Just no evasion talents. Like, stop it. Get it out of here. Evasion is something I build against Butterfly and Phantom Assassin. Nothing else. Monkey King. Boundless Strike. Oh, yes, another Monkey King change. Yeah, so the Boundless Strike, it went from scaling from 1.4 times crit up to 2, and now it's 1.5 times crit up to 2.25. So better at all levels by a little bit, which is cool. I mean, his Q now does actual damage, which is nice. Monkey King, his Primal Spring, so his little jump down off the trees. It was scaling from 100 to 340, and that's when you have it like all the way, the channel totally finished. And now it's from 140 up to 350. So only 10 more at the end, but 40 more damage if you let it channel all the way at the start, which is cool.
Just big. I mean, that's fuck Monkey King. I hope this doesn't bring him back.
I mean,
I hate
probably
that
not.
hero.
As long as his ult isn't bashing, man, I'm okay with anything as long as we don't get that shit again.
Did they take that out?
Yeah, you can't have Basher on Monkey King anymore. Like, or rather, his little illusion or his stone doubles, or whatever the fuck you want to classify them as, cannot bash with Basher. Yeah, that's why he's going, because they can't bash.
Because what you called it, like a rat? What did you call it?
Intermittent ravage.
An intermittent ravage. Yeah, and it was like it's so true.
It was stupid as shit. Intermittent BKB piercing ravage. Sorry, it's a minor difference. You needed to really understand how good it was. Okay.
Let's really not dwell on this too long. Morphling base attack time improved from 1.6 to 1.55. Morphling got a little better.
Yeah, maybe like a 3% better damage or something. Anyway, I like it. Let's go on.
Love this. Nature's Prophet treant damage increased from 32 to 36. Nature's Prophet just recently got a buff 2 to his base attack damage, which is plus 6. So now his trees do 4 more damage, and Nature's does 6 more damage.
And that's a shit ton,
I love that.
Dude.
That's a ton of damage, because it's like, 5 trees? 5 times 4? Yeah. We're talking 20 more damage.
It's only 2 at the start, but I mean, like, as we said, like, Dota is a fucking game of thresholds. The second that you, like, reach over their ability to deal damage to you, like the second you're doing more damage than they are, they gotta just run away and you're fucking killing them. So like any small difference like that can be a big deal. And also I'd like to point out we have once again returned to a world where Nature's Prophet's trees do more damage than my bear at level 1.
Really?
Yeah, the bear does 35, the trees do 36. The bear fucking sucks at level 1, dude. It's like awful. Every time you level it up, it gains 10 damage, but yeah, level 1 bear, like 35 damage, get the fuck out of here, it's awful. Yeah, dude,
so it goes up. It goes up to 75 then.
No, 65 because you level it up 3 times.
35, 45, 55, 65. Yep. Okay, gotcha.
Yep. And you have 2 trees. That's 72 damage across your 2 trees if they both get an auto off. I mean,
and you have 6 more damage on natures, and you have a Bassi probably, which is giving you damage if you're doing the jungle natures.
I mean, I feel like natures could definitely fight a duo. Like 2 trees and natures, you could probably just straight up fight a duo.
Yeah, and you saw that. I don't know. I logged onto my Dota buff because I too have Dota buff plus, and Nature's was like second for tower damage.
That makes sense
across all heroes. So maybe I can't remember who
they do normal damage. Yeah, I mean it's. Yeah. I mean that's good. I'm into it. Actually, I'm not. I hate that. I hate how strong those trees are because Druid against Prophet actually fucking sucks. He just sends his trees at you and they kill you. Sucks.
Yeah, this is going to be really annoying for those like the off lane natures against a sniper.
Yeah.
Like the safe lane sniper, which already sucks, but I love when I do off lane natures versus a sniper because I just trees send him on sniper and sniper just is like.
Yeah, I mean also it's a safe lane sniper, which kind of sucks. So
yeah. So
anyone who's taken sniper or safe lane, probably you're gonna do pretty well if that's where.
Go look at Dota buff versus sniper mid lane versus sniper safe lane, and then make your mind up on where sniper should go.
Don't look at pub statistics to inform your ideas about things when it's just an aggregate of a bunch of random ass games that get played. That's the other option, I guess.
Yeah, that is the other option.
Okay, so Necrophos Reaper Scythe cooldown dropped from 100 to 70. Now it's 90 to 70. So a bit shorter cooldown early on. Whatever. Yep. Fuck this hero, honestly.
Yeah,
Necrophos.
I fucking hate this hero.
Level 10 talent increased from 6 strength to 8 strength. Cool. 6 strength talents get you gone. Like, they're so bad and they're so obnoxious to look at, especially when you're not even a strength hero. So, cool. His other option is 40 damage. I may still just take the 40 damage. The 8 strength is better in, like, hindsight, but 40 damage, it's not like, oh, do you want to be right-clicking with Necrophos? Like, No, but if you gain 40 damage at level 10, like your right click stays relevant longer into the game, which is cool.
Like the level 10 talent needs to be like +8 strength and a call from Gabe. If I'm gonna get that, you know what I mean? Instead of like I'm getting 40 damage every time probably. Unless
like the attack
I don't
damage
know.
on Crystal Maiden, like I'm not right clicking with Crystal Maiden, but it helps me for a lot of other reasons than how I'm going to be fighting at 25 minutes. You know, like
Or
farming or just all this other shit.
Or you're level 6 Reaper Scythe and you're like, okay, it's not gonna kill him. I need to do like 2 right clicks. And you have like the time to like right click. Okay, my Reaper Scythe killed him. Good.
Sure. Yeah, I mean I'd still probably go there. Night Stalker, you do this. You're a huge Night Stalker player, I hear.
I like him. I'm not like I'm really good with him for the first 15 minutes. I have honestly
no context of how you play Night Stalker. I was just trying to build you up.
I didn't know that he flew until recently.
What
like
the
I didn't.
Fuck?
I
mean, that was like a recent patch change. I was freaking out about.
I know. I didn't. I was like, why all of a sudden does his E cost mana? And then I was like, oh my god, he fucking flies?
But like you must have heard, when you saw the patch, you must have been like, oh, he can fly now. That's cool as shit.
No, it was something that just I completely missed somehow.
Right.
I don't know.
I'm just gonna say you forgot it because you sound absurd right now.
Yeah. So Night Stalker, Hunter in the Night mana cost. So basically his fly ability was increased from 50 mana to 80 mana. Night Stalker Void Day Slow duration reduced from 2 to 1.25.
Yep.
And then
it's just more relegated to daytime fighting.
Yeah, I mean, basically, the way I like to look at it is Night Stalker farm during day, fight during night. Like that's usually how I play him. Yep. I think that's the way to play him. I'm not sure.
No, I think most people would agree with you. There's no more surprise like, oh shit, we got ganked in the daytime. Crazy. Like now that's just really not. Night Stalker's not going to have a lot to do with whether or not that happens.
And he can't fly during the day. That's another thing.
I was about to say, like, he shouldn't, you know what? He shouldn't be able to fly during the day, but he can't. That was already how it was.
Yep. Yeah.
Okay, cool. I mean, I'm glad that Night Stalker's get nerfed. He's another fucking hero that adds more goddamn evasion and mischance and shit into the game that doesn't need to be there. Yeah. So, cool.
He's a cool hero, though.
Yeah, I like Night Stalker
to be able to chase somebody, and it's not like you can fly for 10 seconds for those people that also miss this. Like,
it's really
you just fly over a cliff. It's so awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Oh man, I love it.
Okay. Anyway, Phantom Lancer got 1 HP regen.
That's a lot. That's a big deal, dude. That's a really big deal.
I just like
from 0.5 to 1.5. I mean, that means he can stay in lane longer. That means, you know, I don't know. I've been thinking Phantom Lancer isn't as bad as he may be.
Yeah,
lately.
It's just like the issue with this hero is just he never does damage. Like he will drain your mana for sure, but then just like nothing after that. He just there's never he has no steroid. His illusion
I got wrecked
generation
by him recently,
like,
but it was because I couldn't kill him. It was it was basically like he could stay alive long enough to kill me, and I couldn't stay long enough to kill him.
Yeah, or pin him down or whatever. Yeah, you need to pair him with someone who does a shit ton of damage that can make make something of all the openings, the like absurd amount of chaos you add to a fight gives. Like him plus like Invoker is pretty decent. Him plus OD or like Shadow Fiend is good, but like if you just pair him with like Ember Spirit, then it's gonna be a lot of guys like doing Power Ranger fighting stance, you know, like poses in place, and nothing's really gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
The one thing is like maybe you could say this gives you enough that like you can forego a survivability item in favor of getting more like aggressive right clicky options earlier. But I mean, one is just not. I don't know. Like you're not really getting that much survivability on him anyways. I don't think that this really changes the way you build him at all, and I don't think it addresses this issue.
And the other shitty thing about like he's a great diffusal carrier because he's going to take you from like 5,000 mana to 0 mana. But the problem is his illusions are doing most of the mana drain, which means they're not doing the damage that you would usually count on from a diffusal. So yeah, he drains your mana instantly, but he's not doing it for the same amount of damage. He doesn't do any.
No, he does. The burn does the same.
Like, it does the same, even from an illusion?
Yeah. It's like a separate kind of thing. Like the only difference that the illusions have is the amount of damage that their right clicks do, like the actual attack.
Oh, okay.
The diffusal burns less mana, and that's like illusions burn less mana with diffusal than a hero does, and that's like the balancing fact of it. It's not further reduced. It's not like the only thing reduced from illusions is just like the fucking flat white number of physical damage when they slap you. The effects that happen afterwards are still the effects. Like if I burn your mana for 20, you take 20 physical damage no matter what.
Oh, okay. Okay.
But I mean, the issue with PL is after you burn all their mana, you don't do anything. You right click for like 170 at 30 minutes into the game, and that's it.
And he needs things, so he has like slot problems too.
Yeah, and like BKB is good on him. You want like fucking hearts and shit. Like the way that you are malignant cancer that never dies is by giving you items that make you never die. Like you need you need all these. You just need so much shit on him. And also like a lot of people like are like Ags, and I really like Ags on him too. But I think I just have to accept that it kind of sucks, and I have to like get actual items that make me right click. So if you get Ags,
you need an alchemist to give you an Ags, and then it's great.
Yeah, it's like Slark Ags, where it's like absurdly broken, but you don't have the slots for it.
Exactly.
All right. Anyway, that's PL. Pugna. Still kind of bad, unfortunately. I love this hero though. Pugner's.
Yeah, me too.
Attack range increased, dude. There is some fucking phenomena with like everyone at low 5K has an aura that attracts one person who likes to play Pugna like every other game. There's just always someone who's just gonna fucking play Pugna for no reason. Like, why are you Pugna? And then sometimes they're really fucking good at it, and I'm like, why is Pugna
dominance,
broken?
dude? I really do. I think it's like to assert dominance. Like if you're beaten by a Pugna, you're just like deflated. Because it's either this Pugna that goes mid where you're like, it's a Pugna mid. And then you lose and you're like, what the fuck? I just lost to a Pugna mid. Or it's a Pugna mid and it's like this guy that got overconfident and you just beat him. So it's like one or the other.
It also, like, I mean, it is like one of the biggest issues in pubs is, we're ahead. We killed all their towers. Let's get rush on and then high ground. And then you just try to 5v5 high ground and die at 28 minutes because that's just not how Dota works. But Pugna is like actually kind of cool in that you can take high ground with Pugna very safely, especially if you have like an Aether Lens or something, which I don't know if
and he has a talent which gives him more damage to a Nether Blast and gives him more range, more cast range. So
does it give him cast range?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, at level 20, 150 cast range. Yeah, that's pretty good.
With an Aether and that, like, he can like Nether Blast from like ancient to ancient, dude. It's crazy.
I'm sure there's some actual talented Pugna that's gonna say, actually, don't get Aether Lens, you get whatever. I mean, I'm sure you don't. I'm not gonna claim that I understand how to play Pugna any more than the fact that no one else does that I've ever seen. But
I do it when I play Pugna
man.
mid when I play with Denny and Rin. Because it's like 2K and I'm like, I'm gonna see if I'm way better than these guys. Because it's kind of like that type of hero.
Yeah, but I'm sure you know about the Flatline Special, the Flatline Special, the Pugna Aggro Tri-Lane, Lone Druid Safe Lane, and then any kind of mid, and then you just like end the game in 18 minutes. So I mean, big buff to the Flatline Special. Look forward to seeing that in your TI qualifiers.
That'll be cool. Just like trying to go for like a cheese win.
Oh yeah, I mean that's a classic strat. It never worked with Hakuna Marana, but like every team I've been on, including my last CSL team where we got to like the finals or semifinals or whatever, like when in doubt, the fucking Flatline Special pulls you through. Pugna aggro tries, dude. You will win any fucking game with that shit.
Yeah, and you've seen even Loda, rest in peace, but Loda was willing to play him. Base strength increased from 17 to 19 on Shadow Demon. So Shadow Demon starts out with 40 more health. Skywrath Mage, concussive shot damage increased from 60 to 240 to 70 to 280. That's big. 10
damage at the first level goes up to 40. Yeah, no, that's good. I mean, and that's not just like, wow. Oh no, okay, sorry. That's your spam spell. No, that's Arcane Bolt is the spam spell. Concussive shot is the slow. The W that you just like.
Okay.
It looks like he just shoots it straight out of his like crotch or belly button or something.
Yeah, it does look like a crotch
does like
shot,
a simple like belly button thrust and then just like. But I mean, it's not directional. It can go like it can shoot straight out of your butt, out of your fucking hips, whatever you want. But just like you always do when you're chasing someone. So and there's no animation.
So it looks like
And the way he flies with his chest out like, oh look at me, and then it's just straight out the belly button. So
and he has chicken feet.
Yeah. So belly button blast got buffed. So cool. Awesome. A little bit extra damage on that sounds good.
So when I said I'm looking forward to the tiny buffs in this game.
Yeah.
Here we go.
So
level 10 talent on Tiny, from 6th strength to 8th strength. The alternative, 12 intelligence to 14 intelligence. So
a level
you
10,
want a lot of mana? What do you take?
I take the int one. 6 strength really does nothing. And the build that I've been doing that Skrunk recommended to me, the drum, like phase boot drum, you do have the Sage's Mask in it, so you gain an extra like.
So 14 int with a Sage's Mask is going to be big.
Yeah, and I mean with Tiny you want to be spam. Like if you can afford to spam your spells to farm, you're really happy. Otherwise, you really don't have a way to farm. You like take a lot of physical damage, and you have no way to get your health back outside of bottle, which has been nerfed like regularly. So
Oh
if
yeah,
you actually do have the comfort to just like spam waves out with your Q and W nonstop, you're super happy.
that's
Eight
cool.
strength is a lot more than six in my opinion. I know that
8
doesn't sound
damage,
like
40
something.
health.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like eight is more than six in my opinion. Like that's not really an. It's more of an objective fact, but I think it will actually feel a lot different. Even though it just seems like a small number, but at the same time, I think this is one of those situations where rather than like, oh hey, I'm in a good position, I'm gonna change everything I do and hope that it works out better. Like I'll just take it as a 2 int buff and call it a day.
Yeah.
Like when you're doing really well and you like switch to going Midas and then you like die immediately as you buy like the recipe and then you just don't get your glove for 3 minutes and you feel like an idiot because you could have just bought your phase boot straight out and not died. That's how
Yeah.
I'm feeling right now. I'm like, fuck it, not gonna start going strength again. I'm just gonna get the 14 int and I'm gonna be happy.
Yeah. And just be happy with 24 more
Yeah.
mana. This is the biggest one. I don't know how big of a deal it is because I'm not
Yeah.
a huge tiny player,
All
but the craggy exterior damage increased from 40 to increased from 40 to 70 to 60 to 120.
yeah.
So now when I'm playing like I don't know, Slark is who I always think of when I'm going
Yeah.
up against Tiny, and I'm like, I'm gonna get this Tiny, and then it's like ching 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 ching.
Yeah. So 40. So like Craggy is pretty decent as a 1 point. Like on. Okay. Also, I want to say as Slark, like the idea is you get Silver Edge on Slark, right? So you just disable the passive.
Yeah.
Um.
Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you're playing it
And
right, you hit him, and then he doesn't have Craggy at all.
yeah,
So
and then it's not that big a deal. But yeah, on a lot of heroes, the idea is, I mean, they're trying to put Tiny forward as this like kind of anti melee dude, like or anti melee carry. Not that he's a
yeah,
carry that is anti melee, but he's anti col or space
yeah,
melee hyphen
yeah,
carry. Um, and I don't think this will change like too much. But if you are hitting Tiny without a BKB, I mean, the bigger deal is that you get stunned, right? Like the damage isn't really that big a deal, but and I think
but
that's maybe why they
120
buffed
might
it.
be one. I mean,
Yeah,
120 might
yeah.
be.
I mean, buffing
I'm
it
also
by
thinking
50
like,
is a big deal.
what about a run through the jungle where you have like
Yeah, no, that
four
I guess that will
four,
help.
and all of a sudden like you're clearing camps and they're just like disappearing before your eyes because
Yeah,
or
yeah,
like a giant ancient stack. I guess you're sweeping through it anyway because by
yeah.
that point maybe you have ags. I don't know. It
And
kind
also
of
most ancients are actually, I guess no, half the ancients are ranged. The thunder hides and the dragons are all ranged.
yeah,
Because yeah, this only works against melee things, which does kind of
yeah.
suck. It used to just be like anyone near you, so you could get all up on a drow and then she would be stunning herself, or like TA at level 1 would just always. I mean,
Oh wow.
not that you fought TA at level 1, but if you got next to a TA, like she would just be stunning herself. But now it's like literally only melee things, which does kind of suck, and it was a pretty big nerf in all honesty. But hey, on the plus side, Monkey King will still be stunning himself, so that's got to be worth something.
Yeah,
But yeah, I
that
mean, I
is
think this
worth
is
something.
decent. There are a lot of times where I go 1 point craggy, like if I'm mitting against a Dragon Knight or something. One
Yeah,
point craggy,
something
like
melee.
if I'm at like maybe level 3, I get it. Like if I'm just getting right clicked a shit ton, or like I'm against Ursa or some shit for some reason. Yeah, there's a lot of instances where an early craggy will be good, and 20 magic damage early game. Yeah, that sounds decent. I don't think any of these buffs are crazy, and I play a good amount of Tiny, and I am always looking for a way to make Tiny better. This doesn't strike me as anything crazy, but of course I'm glad when a hero gets buffed. I
I
do
will
also
tell
like that
you.
it's a kind of weird buff that's not like anything anyone would really expect.
Yeah, I will tell you that when I do my Tiny jungle video against bots, it's
Yeah.
going to heavily involve leveling his Craggy.
Yeah, that I fully
I mean,
support that.
yeah. Okay, this is crazy because this just happened. This is deja vu. Tree and Protector base movement speed reduced from 280 to 270. I know on the previous
It was like
his
cut
base
by
movement speed
10.
was reduced. Yes, he's gone from 290 to 270 in the course of like a month. So poor Tree and
Yeah.
Protector,
We
you were
like
just too good.
almost want to say like 2 weeks.
Yeah,
Was it?
it was pretty quick. It's pretty quick. I don't know if it was
Yeah.
7.06C or if it was just 7.06 when his movement speed was reduced, but
Yeah.
um, he's now maybe the slowest hero in the game, which would make
Oh yeah.
sense because he's
Yeah,
an
270. That is
yeah.
definitely the slowest. Oh yeah, man.
So
That was actually 2 weeks ago, almost exactly.
Yeah.
Actually,
So
a day less than 2 weeks ago. That is hilarious.
He's lost 20 movement speed.
That is the most move speed loss per, per day of any hero in the game. That's insane.
It's almost like 3 move speed a day he's lost. Poor
He's
guy.
lost. Yeah, sorry.
You can't make him slower than that. Like that's just, there's literally that is the slowest hero.
He's lost a move speed and a half every day.
Oh, poor guy.
Well, no, that's not. No, he only lost 10 move speed in the past 2 weeks. That was wrong. We have to change it. Look at it from the last time. Okay, this is no longer a funny statistic. Anyway, in the last 2 weeks, he has lost that much move speed. We're good.
That sucks.
All right, I think it was still fine. Anyway, go on. I'm too confused now.
Underlord, Firestorm max health damage increased from 0.8 to 3.2% to an easy 1 to 4%. So
yeah.
Better.
You saw what this change was last patch, right? I'm sure you remembered this weird fact.
I remember it was
like absurdly minor. It went from so it was another one of those 0.0 things that you would complain about. So it used to go from 0.75 to 3%. And so like after 4 levels, the difference was 0.2. So that meant each level it increased by 0.05. So that's like the minor kind of thing that you would complain about. But now
this one's
fucking
much
huge.
Bigger. Yeah, much bigger. 4% is nothing to scoff at.
Yeah, it's a ton, dude. That's a big old number.
Yep. So that's gonna, and it's anything with percentages, right? Is gonna scale throughout the entire game.
It does like 30% more damage or 33% more damage than it did 2 weeks ago. Like that's a ton. And Underlord is good right now. Like in high MMR pubs, there's a lot of Underlord, and there's gonna be more. So Underlord is kind of Underlord's back in my opinion. Like I think I can say pretty safely Underlord is a very good offlaner now.
Hate the model, love the hero.
I think it's a good model. I can't wait for more cosmetics to come out. He looks naked. That's my issue with it. He needs to clothe himself a little more.
Dude, when he came out, I was like, God, you guys should have just like waited like a couple weeks. Gotta like, a couple more weeks.
I like him. He's fucking big and blobby and fat and platey.
He's that's the blobby is what bothers me.
But dude, I love the plates. Like he's got fucking leather plates. Oh God, that's so cool. And I just like gross biological shit, like fucking green magic cards where they have like the crazy ass like fucking like some 9/9 piece of shit. It's got like these red boily maws and shit. That's just like there's just so much flesh here. This is great. Like I like that kind of shit.
All right, Undying base armor increased by 1. I don't know what his armor was. I don't know if he was a 0 armor hero. N minus, exactly.
And now he's back to N.
1. Yeah, he has made it back to N. Okay.
God bless.
Viper Strike cooldown reduced from 60 to 30. Now it's 50 to 30. So early levels of Viper Strike, you can Viper Strike more often now, but it ends in the same place. Visage. I've heard that. That bothers me so much. You're not getting a visage, okay? You're not. It's visage or visage, I guess.
Pretty sure it's visage.
I've never. So usually, how I determine this is when the hero refers to themselves.
Yeah.
Like I didn't believe it was Winter Wyvern until Winter Wyvern said Winter Wyvern or whatever,
and I was honestly think it was like a wyvern.
Yes, and we've been over this many times.
Because
every D&D campaign I've ever run,
God,
it's been you come across a bunch of wyverns. You here you are fighting a bunch of wyverns.
This is like I feel like when my dad pronounces something wrong that he just hasn't been exposed to, and I'm like, oh, that's because he's like old and he always hung out. I mean, he lived in like mostly like white neighborhoods with not a lot of diversity. So I want to be like, man, dude, it's so white that you just don't know how to pronounce this. But like, there was no implication. Like, I think being able to pronounce wyvern correctly, I don't know. Anyway, I want to say like you're so uncultured that you can't pronounce this thing right. But it's the word fucking wyvern, so I can't really
believe you don't remember. This is like exactly what you said to me the first time.
Oh no, I'm sure. I'm getting flashbacks. I thought you just thought that I didn't know it, but no. Now I'll remember it correctly next time you tell the same story.
Yeah. So Visage.
By the way, Undying now has 3 armor instead of
nice. 2.
Oh wait, what the fuck?
Instead of 2, his base armor was increased by 1.
I think the Dota 2 wiki may not have updated because in Dota it says he has 4.4. I'm going into demo mode. We'll figure this one out, buddy, just for you.
Okay, so the Visage is summon familiar cooldown reduced from 160 to 130 to a flat 130. So. People complained that Visage familiar cooldown was too long. I think they'll be happy with it being just at a flat 130. What is his armor? What's on
It's
Dime's armor?
4.4 now, so that's actually really
Damn,
high. So it went from
that is
3.4
really
to
high,
4.4. You know what they
especially
could
for a
do
strength hero.
to Visage to improve him is fix all his goddamn stupid motherfucking bugs. It took me a really long time to figure out how to say
Yeah,
bugs.
dude.
So the birds still get stuck on the map for no fucking reason all the time. And
Well,
anytime I play with Skrunk and he plays Visage, he's like, "Oh, my birds got stuck again. Cool." And then he had to resummon
then
them.
he has to
Like,
just resummon. That's lame.
yeah, fix that.
What
That's a
if that happened
problem.
in a pro game? You know what I mean? Couldn't you call a pause and be like, "This is bullshit. Like, do a refresh on my hero so I can
No.
respawn."
And it's never going to happen in a pro game because Loda quit. And we need him to keep playing pro Dota for us to be able to find bugs actually happen and then they'll fix them because it fucked up one of Loda's games.
Are you talking about way back when the Chen Pudge
Oh,
thing?
no, man, no. There are a number of bugs that have only surfaced in a way that everyone like agreed upon when they happen to Loda like in a pro match. I think there's at least two, and on the second one, Valve like specifically patched it and then said thanks Loda for figuring that one out. We're sorry or some shit like that. But yeah, like on the
Wow.
reg, bugs would just happen to load in the middle of a pro match and be like, oh, and then everyone would notice it and then let Valve know or some shit. And they're like, oh, okay, thank you, Loda, for figuring that one out for us. Yeah.
Jesus.
Anyway, some old
All
Dota
right.
history jokes.
Wind Ranger. Wind Run slow increased from 8 to 30 to 15 to 30. So,
That's like twice as good at the first
wow.
level, and you keep
Yeah,
Wind Run at
twice
level
as good at
one
the
for a
first level.
long time. That's
Yeah.
that's cool. And that does that affect
So,
the little talent that she has? She has what does her talent do?
makes her
Yeah,
invisible.
it buffs the slow by 30%. So
Whoa, okay. So 30% of 15 being 5, so 20 if you kept it at one
yeah, and I
level, if
think they
that was
buffed the
possible.
talent last patch too. I'm not exactly sure. Yeah, so I mean it's the same once you max it out once, but that's like the last thing you max. So like for
Mhm.
most of the mid to, or early to mid game, you now have a 15% slow instead of an 8%, which is like that's a huge difference. Like as soon as you get to that, like it's like 13% on is when you can almost 100% like throw an auto attack, take a step, throw an auto attack before you're before you're like interacting negatively with your attack speed. So you get almost near full auto attack uptime once you start getting into that like above 13 or so percent move speed, which she's decently passed with 15.
Hmm. Yeah. Okay. Last of the patch 7.06D.
Last one, buddy. What is
Winter
it? No, there's two
Wyvern.
more.
I already said the Wind Ranger one.
Oh, wait, what the fuck? I'm looking at the wrong thing. Yeah, I'm looking at the one from May 29th. I mean,
Oh,
not the
okay.
whole time, but I just started
I
scrolling for
was
no reason.
like, yeah,
Uh,
you'd be very confused.
yeah, no, there's no
Um,
Zeus change, just the Wyvern. Okay, let's hear it. What do we
Winter
got?
Winter Wyvern
What is
Arctic
it?
burn health damage increased from 8% to 9%.
It's a
You'll
lot.
notice, yeah, I mean, a percent is a lot. Just like when we were talking about Underlord, the 3.2 to 4%.
Yeah, I mean
That's going to be a
that's
big
a
change.
12.5% buff off of what it used to be. Like that's I mean it's over 10% better than it was. That's a large damage increase. For like a standard nuke, that would be like I don't know, just think of like if Queen of Pain's, her Scream of Pain, which does a lot of damage. I think that's a 300 damage spell. Like the average damage of spells is about 300. Where's Quap at? Let me see her. Let me see that Quap.
It's like, isn't it
Um
like 220 to
yeah,
320?
no, Scream of Pain goes from 75 to 300. But anyway, yeah. So
Damn.
so like if Scream of Pain were to get this level of a buff, it would be like a 300, yeah, 340, 350 damage nuke, which would be like crazy. That's a huge ass number. So
Yep.
yeah, like a 12% increase on Wyvern that's big, and let's say it's that much health, yeah, over the entire duration. But of course, you can keep refreshing it during like while you're in the sky, and you have a flight
Yep.
duration of 8 seconds. So like the actual total amount of health that it can burn, I think it probably says on the Dota 2 wiki. I don't want to actually do this math right now, but yeah, it's more. No, I'm gonna do it. It's almost. I want to say it's about 60. You can pretty much burn 16% of someone's health, which is a shit
Wow.
ton. And
Yeah.
you can do and that's like
Talk
yeah. So
about a
yeah.
support
Anyway,
harassing somebody out of the lane. You can fly and
yeah.
shoot from really far away.
And it's scaling damage, right? Like as the game goes on, yeah, like it's all. I mean, it is reduced by magic damage, sure, but yeah, like it's. I mean, once Sven has his ulti giving him an absurd amount of bonus HP, and then he also has a heart, and he has fucking like 5,000 health with his ulti popped. I mean, that's like you're gonna shave off like 1,000 fucking health when you press Q. Like that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, no, it is. That's going to be fun to watch.
Yeah.
You guys, thank you
Hi.
so much. It's been a late night.
Yeah.
Once again, you can find us at defenseofthepatients.com. You can support us by going to patreon.com/defense of the patients. It is the only way that we are supported. And if you do lift us up, we will keep doing things for free. And if you don't, we will keep doing things for free.
Yeah.
Also,
like I'll probably not eat quite as well.
Yeah, you won't be able to keep the personal.
The lock on the fridge is gonna stay on a little longer every night.
You can also Twitter @.p show. Follow us there.
Or not, whatever. It's up to you. Please
do whatever you want. We're tired. We did an episode before this patch notes, so this is a double release day. But the patch notes, they were a little more sizable than I thought by scrolling through. We
just talk a long time about nothing, I think.
Yeah, I think that could be the result. Anyway, thank you so much for tuning into our rendition. Our rendition,
This is our rendition of Shakespeare's classic 7.06D patch notes. We did it with like a modern twist to it, and we hope that setting change didn't confuse the message too much. Yeah. But thank you for enjoying our artistic vision, and we hope that you got a lot from it.
Indeed, what Proud said. Thanks so much, guys. Bye-bye.
Brava.